perhaps in your opening remarks, certainly no stranger to hockey in the state of hockey where you reside in Minnesota, with a long history, playing career and off the ice and coaching roles as well. Just maybe a few words about what drew you to this position and your outlook for year one in Minnesota.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Appreciate everyone being on here. First of all, just thanks to the Walter Group, Billie Jean King, the league office, and Jana Hefford for this tremendous opportunity. It's an exciting time for women's hockey, and not only women's hockey, but just women's sports in general. As a little girl, just thinking about this whole opportunity as a little girl, I always dreamed of playing professional hockey. And that obviously dream could never come true. And now girls today can make that dream come true with this professional league. I'm excited for the women players as well. They are finally able to get the recognition and the opportunity they deserve. As a native Minnesotan, I'm honored and I'm thrilled to be named the general manager of the Minnesota team and build a team here in my home state. Our team joins the rich tradition of hockey in the state of hockey. And I'm excited to bring this level of women's hockey to the great fans of Minnesota, who I know will come out and support this team and fill the stands. So it's just a tremendous honor, and I'm super excited to get this going.
Thanks, Natalie. We'll continue to take questions. Take the first one from Haley Salvian, please.
Yeah, thanks, Paul, and congratulations, Natalie. I guess I'm curious, how do you even start looking at roster building in a league like this? Like, we always hear about drafting and signing for needs or based on position. You have 20 open roster spots right now.
Yeah, sorry, Haley, you cut out a little bit.
Sorry, yeah.
Did you, Haley, we had a little bit of trouble hearing some of your questions. If you can type it in the chat. I think we caught a little bit of it, but I just don't want to
sounds good.
overlook an aspect.
Yeah, sorry.
No problem.
Hey, no problem with technology. I couldn't get my screen to go, so sorry about the background. So I feel you on the technology aspect.
No problem. Rachel, you can proceed with your question, please.
Thanks. Hi, Natalie. It's Rachel from the Star Tribune. Congratulations.
Thank you, Rachel. Excited to have you on here, and excited that you're back in business after your personal health. So
thank you. I'm feeling great and ready to cover some women's hockey. So
yes.
Can you tell us, how did this all unfold for you? How and when were you approached about this job? Decide you wanted to do it, and what does this mean for the high school coaching job? Will you be unable now to coach at Hill Murray?
Yeah, great question. You know, obviously I'm a big fan and I've stayed involved in women's hockey, and Jana and company have done a tremendous job behind the scenes getting this thing going, many years in the making. And I was happy at the college level and with two little boys at home, and it was important for me to have a work-life balance. So college hockey was just a really good fit for me. And then with a good fit with Hill Murray to provide even more work-life balance, it was really important for me. But this thing came about really fast. About a month ago, I was approached to see if I had any interest in possibly being a part of this league and possibly being a general manager. And I'll tell you what, like, the competitive juices and the heartbeat and the excitement, I don't think I've slept for a good month in a very good way, just because of the excitement and how special this is to me as a person. We didn't have this opportunity. Jana didn't have this opportunity. Many people on this call didn't have this opportunity. So to now be a part of it, obviously in a different route that we as little girls dreamed of going about and playing, to be a part of this was just something I could not pass up and I had to pursue. And I'm super grateful and super excited that it all worked out and I get to lead the Minnesota team. And unfortunately, yeah, this is a full-time position. This is professional. I'm all in, and unfortunately, this is my full-time job, so I will not be able to continue the other position at Hill Murray.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
Thanks, Rachel. Take the next one from John, please.
Hey, Natalie, John Worrell with the AP. you've already really expressed a lot of answer the question that I've had about, just what it's like to be part of this new league and something that you didn't envision. So I guess I'm just going to move on and saying, how difficult is it going to be recruiting Canadian players? I'm kidding. And what about gearing up and being rivals again with Gina off the ice?
Yeah, well, the good news is the first 3 picks are going to be interesting. And I don't know if I'll be able to grab any Canadians. I'm certainly going to try. But I think they're probably going to stay in those markets if I have to assume. However, the draft presents a whole nother opportunity where we could get some Canadian influence in Minnesota. And, my vision of this team is we're going to try to create the best roster we can. And that doesn't mean that we're only going to take Minnesota players, or we're going to look to create the best roster we can. And I hope that we can branch out and grow this game. And that may include some Canadian players. As far as Jana, I have a tremendous amount of respect for her. I believe we were a really similar player through our age growing up in our era. And I had tremendous respect for her as a hockey player competing against her. I didn't know her very well personally, but the people that did had just amazing things to say about her. And then just the conversations I had away from the rink as we were players, it was very positive. And again, the respect for me to her hopefully was evident when I talked to her and vice versa. So again, it's awesome how the hockey world works. 360, doing a full 360 here of our playing days. And I would think that helped my credibility in getting this position, that she knew who I was as a player. Hopefully she heard great things about me as a person. And here we are today, locking arms. So I'm super excited how all this worked out.
Congratulations. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, John. Natalie, I'm going to go back to Haley's question. I'm just going to read it on her behalf. Usually we hear about GMs drafting or signing based on best available players or for need. How do you approach roster building with such a clean slate?
It's so much fun. This is just so exciting. Just the way it's formatted with the 3 free agents and then going into the draft. Obviously, I'm thrilled to get the number 1 pick. I think that's going to be really significant. But for me, it's again, those top 3 players is who do I feel will set the foundation for our team in Minnesota. And so it's an exciting time to see who has interest in us and who's willing to sign here in the next couple of days. So it's going to be a fun day ahead to start free agency. And then that first round draft pick, it's going to be really exciting and have an idea who that may be already.
Thank you, Natalie. Sorry, just seeing if Haley has a follow-up. Check back in with her in a moment. Ian Kennedy, proceed, please.
Hi, Natalie. Ian Kennedy from the Hockey News. Congratulations. I do want to ask you a little bit about that first draft pick. Obviously, there's a lot of names coming out. You have some NCAA experience players like Taylor Heisey and Grace Zumwinkle that will be around. How much does that NCAA experience factor in? Obviously, the draft will be the first opportunity to take those NCAA players. What kind of experience will you be bringing with you for that? And will the factor of bringing in a younger player in the draft play into your decision?
I believe that my experience up to today will provide a great experience for this draft. It's going to be interesting to see how the top 3 free agencies pan out over the course of the next 10 days. But knowing that no NCAA player can be taken in that free agency is quite interesting. As I look at the number 1 pick, obviously I want that to be considered a more of a franchise pick, somebody who we can hopefully have around for a really long time. Not only that, who can grow the game and grow the market in Minnesota, who has great visibility. And knowing those college players, it's really significant. I think the college players, it's an interesting time. You have your players that are in their prime. You have the players that are a little bit older and are possibly going for the next cycle of the Olympics, and that's probably going to be it for them. The game is just growing fast and the depth is coming up quick. So that college group coming up in this first round of draft is going to be, I believe, quite significant for rosters and the franchises and building a really strong foundation for your team.
And a quick follow-up, of course, in Minnesota, the Whitecaps have been around since 2004, instrumental in keeping professional women's hockey in Minnesota alive. I'm wondering if you'll be looking at any of those players that have been playing professional hockey in Minnesota as you're filling out your roster as well.
Yeah, just to go back to the Whitecaps, you know, it was founded by Jack Brodt a long, long time ago. I played for the Whitecaps when I was still playing, and I just want to give a little recognition to them. I know this is a brand new league, but they got this thing going and the fan base going, and that's going to carry over to this team. So I'm super appreciative of his work and what they've done for the Whitecaps. And certainly they had a lot of good players on their roster. And so we'll look to those players to see if we can puzzle them in our roster and if they would be a good fit. Again, we're not looking at age and past history. It's everyone is starting from a clean slate, and how do we build the best roster we can to win a championship?
Thanks, Natalie.
Yep. Thank you.
Thanks, Ian. Next question from Alex Azzi, please.
Hi, Natalie. Thank you so much for taking the time. Alex Azzi with The Messenger. You know, your background at the college level, at the high school level, even with that position that you were going to take, you know, this is one of the first times that we are going to see women's professional hockey have a full-time salaried role in a GM. Can you talk a little bit about your career trajectory up until this point? Of you've clearly wanted to stay in women's hockey, but up until now, that's meant staying at the college or high school level. Can you talk about what it means to have that opportunity at the professional level?
It's huge. There really wasn't an opportunity at professional level to create a full-time living. And so this is probably outside of Division I and Division III college hockey, the first significant opportunity to make a living and to provide for your family, right? And so this is just a huge moment. This is a huge moment for the players, the front office, the league, little girls to dream. This is just a really significant moment, and I'm so honored and thrilled to be a part of it. And for me to wake up every day and pinch myself that I get to do this every day and build a team and lead a team. And I'm a builder. At my previous experience, you know, I was a D3 coach at a school in Minnesota, in St. Paul. And when I first got there, I don't think many people knew that they even had a women's hockey team. And 3 years later, we were in the NCAA Frozen Four. So I love to build. It's in my DNA. It excites me. It gets my blood flowing. And this is totally different because I get to now build with the best players in the world. How exciting is that? So I'm just a tremendous experience and totally grateful and honored. At the same time, this was a long time coming, right? It would have been fun to have this when we were still in our skates and playing, but now here we are, and we're going to make the most of it, and we're going to be here for a long, long time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Jeremy, please.
Natalie, congratulations. Good to see you again. Jeremy Kagover, AP Radio. You know all about growing the game. You just mentioned the D3 program, right? At the league's announcement press conference, they didn't shy away from the fact that there might be neutral games, or that there will be neutral games, neutral site games. How important is that to grow the sport and the league to get out of, let's say, the bubble that is the Northeast, right? Like I'm in Nashville, for example, like we've had the All-Star game here, and it was just a tremendous spectacle, right? So how important is it to maybe branch out just a touch, not a lot, but just a touch to kind of give everyone else around the taste of the best of women's hockey?
It's significant. It's to me, I give the cheesy analogy. It's the difference between shopping online and going to try it on in person. If you get people in the seats, they will be a lifelong fan. I'm confident of that. And so going to different markets, and you guys in Nashville are a hockey hotbed. It's growing there. It's a significant market. And that's important to grow the game, because we, as Jana probably already mentioned, we don't want this to be a 6-team league for years and years. We want to branch out and create this thing and give more opportunities for female hockey players to dream and to make a living. And so to do that, we have to get in front of fresh eyes and go to different markets. And that's something I'll take very seriously. I believe the Minnesota market is already set up for success, and we're going to raise the bar and do what we can in the community to grow the game even more. I value community service, so that's something our team's going to do, is get in front of little girls with camps and clinics and get out in the public eye. And then the fun part is the product on the ice. That's fun. They get people in the stands, come watch, and they will be a lifelong fan of this game and become hopefully grow the game, and that's how we grow markets. So just super excited about that idea. Obviously, the league already knows what they're doing, and we have confidence behind them as the general managers to follow in their lead and to do what we can as general managers to continue to grow the game and to grow the markets.
Thank you so much.
I hope we're one of the teams that gets to play in Nashville. It's just a great, great city.
Natalie, and we'll take one more from Rachel. Go ahead, please.
Yeah, would you address the fact, Natalie, that we all, of course, in Minnesota, we love our locals. And so is it going to be important to have a Minnesota flavor to this team? And how much do you think that will be a part of what you build here?
We do love our locals. That is true. It's, I believe, a significant part of growing the game. Do I want to win? Absolutely. At the same time, I think we need to have a franchise that is marketable, and we have faces that are marketable. And for me, just having that vision, I do believe we have to have some strong Minnesota names. At the same time, yes, I'm going to try to create a roster that will be successful and we can hopefully win. But at the same time, it is really important that there is some Minnesota flavor, as you say, to our roster. And so, again, a number one pick is crucial to that. These top 3 free agency picks are also important as well to start that off on the right foot.
Great, thank you.
Thank you, Rachel, and to everyone else for your questions for Natalie. Natalie, congratulations once again on your appointment.